Hello guys, Omni here. We got some interesting news to cover, especially some that just broke not that long ago. And this is something that was rumored, and we actually talked about in a video. I can't remember what the title of it was. Oh no, it was in my reaction video to Camp Cretaceous, where I also talked about the rumors that the original Jurassic Park cast might be returning for Jurassic World 3. Um, well, it's official as of just about an hour or so ago. It has been confirmed by Colin Trevorrow, Laura Dern, and others, and as well as some promotional imagery that Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Ian and Jeff Goldblum will be reprising their roles. Now we know Jeff Goldblum had a small little cameo in Jurassic World 2, but it's being implied that they will have a bigger part and they will be joining Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard in Jurassic World 3. To what state, to what level, to what capacity has yet to be determined, but they pushed out some promotional imagery for it, and hopefully that means it's more than what Jeff Goldblum got in Lost World. Gosh, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Um, I'm not sure what they're going to go with this, but again, they reiterated that not only have creatures escaped and gone into the world, that the technology for creating dinosaurs has gotten out and gotten open source. So it's kind of a bigger concern that this is now turning into a Jurassic World, where not only did a vast amount of creatures get loose and start breeding on land on the mainland, and not only did the ones that have already been created get out, but the technology and the how to create them has grown beyond Henry Wu. And now other companies, other organizations, other governments, other scientists around the world now have the means and the technology and the instructions and what they need to make their own dinosaurs. Really kind of becoming a plague. So I'm really curious to see how they get this team together, how everybody's going to factor into this story. And honestly, in the end, how do you resolve it from this point? Where does this story go and where does it end from here? I'm really curious to see what goes on in this movie. Um, Fallen Kingdom was very middle of the road as far as a movie for me, but what it promised, I think, could be really fun and really entertaining. A world with dinosaurs just running amok, sign me up. With the original cast, sign me up. I just hope they have something to do and they're not just there as a marketing strategy. Give them a purpose, please. That's all I ask. Aside from that, we also got some new casting news for Matt Reeves' Batman, joining Robert Pattinson. We've got Jeffrey Wright, who will be playing Commissioner Gordon in this film. Nothing's confirmed, nothing's signed. Right now, we know is that there are talks and he's in negotiation to take over the role of Jim Gordon in the Matt Reeves Batman universe. Now, what this does do is confirm that this is at least a different continuity than Ben Affleck's Batman. Is this a separate Earth? Is this a soft reboot? It's hard to tell yet. One thing that does cause for concern, or at least because, again, we've talked about how Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Aquaman, the upcoming Flash film, all still exist in the continuity setup with Justice League. And we do know that Ezra Miller's Flash has met with J.K. Simmons' Commissioner Gordon. So this recasting, among other clues, definitely point out that this has to, I would imagine this is a separate continuity. It's going to be its own thing, separate in the vein of what the Joker film is. So maybe in a way they're setting up a multiverse to do their soft reboot. If somehow they just ignore Ben Affleck's Batman for a time and then another Batman comes from another continuity to take his place, I don't know what they're going to do unless they do their own Crisis on Infinite Earths down the road to reset the timelines. The DCEU is still in a stretch. A lot of people keep wanting to argue the point that it doesn't exist anymore, but that is them twisting the words of WB. I keep saying this. The DCEU still exists. It still does. Wonder Woman 1984, Aquaman, Aquaman 2. People are hanging on the words that WB said that we're no longer focusing on the shared universe. That just means, all that means is that interconnecting and interweaving the movies is no longer the plan. The continuity is still there. Aquaman directly references Justice League. Justice League doesn't just disappear from the continuity because they decided to get rid of Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck, but keep Jason Momoa and his Aquaman to move forward. Mira talks about Steppenwolf. Aquaman talks about Steppenwolf. They talked about what happened, so it is hard part of that continuity. Same with Wonder Woman. It's still tied in. It's still interconnected. Just because they don't want to have somebody showing up in their movie left and right, being forced into their own plots. They want these characters to stand on their own, and then maybe once in a while, maybe once down the road, they'll re-team up, which they've talked about. There is insider reports that Justice League is being talked about. There's no plans to actually for when it might happen, but they do have it on the table to revisit it. Right now, their strategy is to make good movies with the characters all on their own, as well as some experimental projects like the Joker and what I can only assume now, the Matt Reeves Batman movie will be its own continuity, because they've got some splaining to do if they go up retconning more stuff in the DCEU, yet they're still wanting to continue it. So I'm really so confused on what's going to be happening further with this. If they keep just making individual good movies, I don't think I'll really care all that much. If they keep landing successes and just entertaining, fulfilling movies, I think I can at least maybe kind of get past the continuity. What I'm really wondering is people who aren't well versed in comic books and, you know, the concept of multiverses and different versions of these characters existing simultaneously. I think some people might be a little confused going into all of this. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go, but the DCU still exists. Shazam came out this year, and guess what? It was in the DCEU. Henry Cavill's Superman, though they couldn't get Henry Cavill, showed up in that movie. Jason Momoa's Aquaman was hinted at and shown in that movie. The post-credits teased all of that, along with the newspaper clippings throughout the entire film, citing events from the characters and the other things. The DCU is still there. Do not trick yourselves. It is just not the focus. DC and Warner Brothers messed up by making the shared universe something they wanted to do right after one movie. They had Man of Steel, and then from that point onward, they were like, you know what? That's all we need. We could just start cramming people into these movies. And it just made for eclectic storytelling, underdeveloped characters and storylines. And I still enjoyed all of the movies. They're far from perfect, but I still enjoy them and love them for what they are. BVS is just a terrible movie, but I still like a lot of it. But I actually legitimately enjoy Justice League, but it was so haphazardly constructed because they just rushed headfirst into this shared universe that they needed to do the slow approach, which is what they're doing now, retroactively trying to fix this. But with Matt Reeves' Batman existing in this alternate reality, I'm really curious to see what that means for that. If that's successful and they continue that, are we going to have a separate Bat universe? That'll be really interesting, because they talked about that too, having a building, rather than building on the rest of the DC universe, let them try to get their legs. They did talk about having a separate Batman universe that they were going to spin off and focus on. So I'm interested in that. That also because Suicide Squad is said to be a reboot, yet they're keeping a lot of the same cast members. So I'm really confused at what DC is doing right now. Another casting that came out is Jonah Hill has been confirmed to be in talks with DC to join in on Matt Reeves' Batman movie, as well as an unknown role. Some people were throwing around names like Penguin or Riddler or something along those lines. Those are two names that also come up and been rumored to be part of the storyline for the film and the script. I would honestly, just stereotyping or typecasting Jonah Hill, I would love to see him as a Penguin, but he could also play a very snarky, different kind of Riddler. But who knows? They could do something completely off the wall with him. Who knows? Maybe he's Robin. That would be interesting. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think about this whole thing? What do you think about the original cast returning to Jurassic World 3 from Jurassic Park and showing up to join Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard in this chaotic Dinopocalypse? And what do you guys think about these recent casting information surrounding the Matt Reeves Batman film and what that means for DC's films moving forward? That definitely does set a precedent that there is going to be more of a multiverse kind of feel or Elseworlds kind of feel to some of their side projects. Not everything's going to be in the main continuity. As much as I would have liked it to have been like a younger tale or a younger take or just a completely revamped version of Ben Affleck's Batman, I'm really interested to see what they do with it now, and what this means for the DCEU going forward. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you all think. So thank you guys for hanging around. If you like this video, make sure to support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comments what you didn't like, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.